Nobody can guarantee you visa except a visa officer, and after checking all your documents. So my next point is all about visa assurances. A lot of people like to, especially Nigerians, they'll tell you, when I have this, when I have that, am I sure? Am I going to get the visa? How fast am I going to get the visa and all of that? A lot of people do not put the certainty of a visa to the visa office. I like to tell people, don't come and meet me and tell me, if I tell you these are the documents, these are the documents. Don't come back and tell me that, oh, I did not get the visa. You did not get the visa because you did not get the visa. It's nobody can guarantee you visa except a visa officer, and after checking all your documents. I'm going to start with the UK, because UK, their visa is like pure water. They will dash you, they will give you, come. And all of this is based on the fact that your documentation are tight, they are watertight, your transcripts are sorted, your document, proficiency document, everything is intact. You've gotten your CAS, the school is willing to sponsor you to come and study in that country. You are sorted when it comes to UK, and your 28 days bank account is up and running with your proof of funds, with your initial deposit or remaining deposit, cost of living, everything is intact. You have even more safe. 95% of chance when it comes to UK is that you get the visa. And that's the honest truth. Except you've had a ban that you did not know, or you lied in one of your application, or you've done something that has come to eat you in the bum. UK will certainly give you their visa. They are very visa friendly. That country, I love it when it comes to giving visas. So with that, be rest assured that you don't have stress. You want to quickly leave the country, go to UK, they will give you. But then coming to Canada, that is where the problem begins. Canada is 25%, and I'm not even joking. You have everything sorted. Your transcript, your everything, your this, your that, you have it complete. And Canada will still tell you that we are sorry, we cannot give you this visa because you claim that your uncle is your sponsor. If you are saying that your uncle is your sponsor, or a third party that you do not know is your sponsor, what have you ever done for this person in their life that they are willing to come and spend 22 million naira on you to come and school in abroad? It is crazy. And I like to tell people that realistically, when it comes to Canada, just do your best in perfecting your document. Some are lucky, some are not. No two applications are the same when it comes to Canada. A can do the same thing as B, and B will chop refusal. A is in Canada. So do everything that you can do by the books. Get your POF, sort out your letter of your explanation, make sure that your statement of purpose is on point. Canada refuses for flimsy reasons. They will refuse you because they can even refuse you because what you did in your undergraduate is different from what you want to come and do in your master's. It is the nexus, the ability to write a watertight statement of purpose. If you are coming here to do cook and you are a banker in Nigeria, how is a cook now a banker? It is your statement of purpose that you will link to say that, I started a business, I went to do this in school and this and that and that. Convince the visa officer that when you finish, you are going back to your country. And that's what they want to know. They want to see your home ties. They want to see whether you are going back to your home country and all of those things. So that's why I say that with Canada, nothing is guaranteed. You can chop 3 refusal. At the end of the day, you still get the visa. And for UK, you're already studying in the UK. So that's why you see a lot of people say that Canada is showing me pepe, they are stressing me, I don't want to come to Canada, blah, blah, blah. And you see a lot of people, they go to UK and they say that I've tried Canada for a while and it's been refusal or some sort of things. I like to say that go back to the drawing board and see why you keep getting that refusals. And also, order your GCMS notes. When you order GCMS notes, it brightens you, it gives you an insight as to why you are being refused, and then you can go back to the drawing board. And if you see that you are being refused for the same reason, get a lawyer or an immigration consultant. They know how to fight this, and they will fight it for you, especially when your application is watertight. So my next point is working while studying as an international student in both countries. In the UK, I'm just going to quickly run through that. In the UK, students are eligible to work for 20 hours hours while in school, and they're eligible to work full-time while on holiday. So I know that sometimes the UKVI as well bring up policies to say that certain people in certain field can work more than 20 hours. But then they are always certain to put a clause on it. I would remember that last year or 2 years ago, they brought out a policy to say that people working in the healthcare system, such as NHS, I think working as a support worker or something like that, they can work for more than 20 hours. And we had a lot of students bumping, working more than 20 hours. And they do that without checking whether it has an expiry date. I know that I checked on their website, I checked on the UKVI website, and I found out that working more than 20 hours was going to expire in the December of that year. But a lot of people felt like, oh, good news, student can now work more than 20 hours. But then if you work more than 20 hours, you are breaking or breaching the agreement of your visa. Students are only meant to work for 20 hours while school is on, and more than 20 hours when it's off school. Now coming to Canada as well, students are entitled or allowed to work with their study permit for 20 hours on campus, and with the right authorization for 20 hours as well off campus. With Canada as well, this year in particular, Canada increased the 20 hours to an unlimited work hours till December of 2023, where a student can work more than 20 hours till December of 2023. And one thing that I really appreciate and like about Canada is the fact that I know that UK also offers placement to students as well, to give them first-hand experiences or core experiences when it comes to their degree. But Canada offers some sort of co-op programs that enables you to get first-hand experience, and also it also classifies as work experience for you, which at the end of the day, when you finish your study, you know what next for you. And some co-ops program as well also pay you some form of money. Some pay, some don't pay. It just depends on, where you are working. I know of somebody that went to school and then she got a placement she's a social worker. She got a placement and she was paid for the 3 months that she did her placement. So that's just to say that, you can finish your degree, add a placement or a co-op program to it, and then do that at the end of your study. Basically just gets you ready for work at the end of your study. So the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is the postgraduate, what happens after study, what happens to international student after study. So in the UK, there's something they call the graduate route, which was recently opened, I think it was in 2021 or 2022, to say that international student that has completed their degree, they fully completed their degree, can apply for the graduate route, which is the graduate route visa, where they are given 2 years to remain in the country, to look for a job, to search for a job, and then to get a job to be able to move to another type of visa. In Canada as well, when you finish in Canada as a student, you've completed your degree, you are entitled to a post-graduation work permit, PGWP, and as well, you need to make sure that the uni that you are going to is a licensed university that allows you to have a post-study at the end of the day. It's not just just come to school and you go back to your school. Some people risk it, but it's common sense. Come to a school that is licensed to give out students PGWP. Don't just come to a school that is not DLI or that will not give you post-study at the end of the day. So, and in Canada, it depends on your course. If you're studying a 1-year course or a 2-semester course, at the end of your schooling, you only get a 1-year work permit. If you are studying a course that is more than 2 years or 2 years in total, you are, given a 3 years post-graduation work permit. For PhD students as well, you have 3 years of post-study to be able to stay in the country to look for a job after your post-study. But the good news with Canada that I like is the fact that once you finish your study, once you have your work permit, you can dive into the pool. It gives you the chance to be able to create, it gives you the chance to, it opens the door for permanent residency pathway for you. But in the UK, if you finish your 2 years and you don't get a job, it's go back to your country, and then we'll see you next time. So on to the second to the last topic, I would be talking about unemployment rate in UK and unemployment rate in Canada. Unemployment rate according to world data in Canada is 5.2% and in the UK is within 3.6 to 3.8%. And then let's just take a look about what this would have on the effect for international students, considering the fact that, we have their locals that are still looking for job. We have PR, we have citizens of UK, Canada that are still trying to get a job. Then what happens to international students that have just finished their program and intend to probably get a job while they finish, or, look for an opportunity to stay back in the country, all in the name of, we've studied here and we just want to gain first-hand experiences. And the honest truth, in my opinion, is looking at the unemployment rate is the fact that we shouldn't deceive ourselves. The world is moving fast. We know what the market trend is saying. Look at what is on the table. STEM is taking over the world. We have some courses in finance that are taking over the world. You take a look at, as a student that is coming abroad to study, you come into the country and you say you don't want to do a meaningful course. What does that tell you? At the end of the day, you will struggle. So what you just need to do is to make sure that if you're coming to study, looking at the unemployment rate that we have, if you are coming to study in UK, look at what is obtainable. Look at their shortage list. Look at what they have missing in the society. Look at that to apply for your course. Look at what is transferable in what you did in your undergraduate level. Use that as what merging that or annexing that to what is missing in their shortage list, and then apply for a master's degree. At the end of the day, there's no way that you will not get a job. I know that tech bros are the one eating good right now, because at the end of the day, there will always be a need for software engineer, back-end engineer, front-end developer. We always have graphic designer, web designer and all of that, web developer. There's always a need for them. And we also have engineering. There are some courses that you need to do that when you get abroad, there's no way you will not struggle. Just like Canada as well. Healthcare. Find a job that is worthy of doing. Don't just come to the country and you know that this is lacking. Sometimes a course might not be bubbling. It might be something that is very, very minute, but you know that it's going to impact, because they always need people in that particular course. So do that, and at the end of the day, worry less about employment. It's just the honest truth. Without deceiving yourself, that's just the honest truth. So in all, do your research. Find a course that is worthy of studying. Find a course that you know that at the end of the day, you would not struggle. Let me bust your bubble, or let me bust your brain. I was searching online one time for jobs, and I just stumbled on a job that was paying $56 an hour. And guess what the job was? Diabetes dietitian. And they just needed the person to just come, talk to people, what they should eat, what they should not eat. Dietitian or diabetes dietitian is a journey. They are specific about what they are doing. They've picked that part, and imagine how much they are earning. $56 an hour. There are always going to be a need for some certain parts, for some certain courses. So make your research and find that. Don't just say all in the name of I want to leave the country. Just give me one course. Let me go. And when I get there, I will do the rest. It doesn't work like that. You might struggle. Some get lucky, some don't. And like I always say, no two applications are the same. If you know yourself, do what works for you. The last but not the least, finally, I'm just going to be talking about the cons of studying in the UK and the cons of studying in Canada. These are like problems students face in the UK and problems students face in Canada. The major thing that I've heard a lot of people complain about is the fact that in the UK, if you finish your study, it is quite hard to get a job in the field that you've studied in the university. So a lot of people tend to now pick something in the healthcare just to get a tier 2 visa to stay in the country. It's a problem, because at the end of the day, when your 2 years is running out on your post-study visa, it becomes a problem. You don't know what next to do, and then you don't have a choice than to settle for less. And the next one when it comes to Canada is the fact that, when you finish, you study a 1-year course and you're on a 1-year permit. A lot of people tend to do 1 more year in school, in the sense that they find a course that is going to give them 1 more year, and at the end of the day they are able to get a 3 years post-study. Because if you are coming to Canada to study a 1-year course and you are not able to get your PR faster, it becomes a problem, because once your 1-year permit finishes, then it is not renewable. 1-year permit is 1-year permit. If you don't get it, get a PR at that time, you go back home. So another problem that a lot of people tend to complain about in Canada is loneliness, is the weather. So those are just little problems that some of the students face in Canada. And also, a lot of people complain of the fact that at the end of the day, because they are not able to get a job, a desired job, they then migrate from UK to another country. Migration keeps happening and happening and happening. To what end at the end of the day? And also with Canada as well, coming to Canada, you have people say that even when you try to get a job, the Canadian experience class becomes the problem. The Canadian work experience becomes a problem for you. But I think that it's beginning to be a thing of the past. This is from my own experience, and I would just say that just do you. Apply for those jobs. Apply, they will call you and all of that. So at the end of the day, it might take a while for things to regulate, but certainly you will get there. In conclusion, I would just like to say that thank you all for sticking till the end of this video. Like I said, it wasn't really a comparison, or it wasn't really a fight to the finish. It was just basically just setting out a little bit of difference, and I would just say that it's the same, really. The difference are not far off when it comes to study. But in my own opinion, where would you think that I would like to study? You know, I will always support Canada. Canada is my first love. I would always support Canada. So I would say that whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's study, look at the long-term goal for you. Look at what it is that you want to get at the end of your study, and then, you know, look at that to decide. Don't just say that, oh, okay, oh, I'm going to the UK because it is cheaper to study there, or it is this to study here. Look at the long-term goal, and then you would be able to decide. All right, guys, thank you so much for sticking by to the end, and I hope anyone trying to make a decision about where to study makes a good one, and I will see you guys back in my next video. Bye.